All right? 7 tribes left. Now check this out now. Hold on. We know that the only so-called section of a tribe that has Ayah's name in it is Judah, which is really Ayuada Ayah. And here will remain in their territory in the south. And that we know because remember I gave you the demonstration how it turned. So they're in the true direction toward Shekinah Ayah and Ayah. The house of Joseph, or Zapanah Ayah, will remain in Africa. But all of it was Africa, but in their territory. Okay? Now, however, we'll have no portion with the rest of you. In other words, the 7 other tribes, which included so-called Judah and so-called Joseph, and leaving the other 5, they are the ones that were casted for lots. But hold on, 1, 2, 3. In the presence of Ayah, all right? Not Yahweh, but that's what they have in the text. However, the Levites, will have no portion with the rest of you, including the priesthood. The Levites. So, when I say that the Levites are not priests of Ayah, I'm reading this. And they can't be the priest of Ayah. One of the reasons that a Levite or a Levitical individual can't be the priest of Ayah, because they couldn't even go in the room nor touch the articles or items, let alone the book. They couldn't do it. And that is what's happening. Now, let's continue on without going into the scriptures and etc. We know that there are 7 other tribes. And these 7 other tribes, they received the blessing. And then, does your book say this or not? Where it says, and there Joshua divided the country between, does yours book say that? Okay, 18. And I think that's verse, I don't know what it is. I had it 8, 9, I believe that's 10, I believe. Yeah, 10.
Joshua cast lots for them.
Go ahead.
Joshua cast lots for them before Yah at Shiloh. There Joshua apportioned the land among the Israelites according to their groupings.
Now stop right there. Now in mine is that other version, you know. But your mind says, and then it went back and it says in Ayah's presence at Shiloh, okay? Ayah's presence. We know that that's Shekinah Ayah. And there Joshua, Ayah, divided the country between the Asherals, share by share, and the sacred 7 tribes of Ayah. Does yours say that? Okay. Now, mine has a little different going on, see, because right here, what is that right there? Now, we've already had this discussion before. What is that right there? When I highlight this right here, what is this right here? Oh my goodness, we're going busy. The Ak. And in the Ak is what? No.
3 black dots.
The 3 black dots. But then the 3 black dots is what? It's not necessary. The Ak is the Atayah, the 22 letters and the essence of being. And in the Ak and what they're dealing with is what the sector is. And I don't know if my copy would give me this information.
The 3 black dots, what they call like a top, whatever.
Yeah, but they don't connect to us as far as where we are because it doesn't have the reference to it. And in that reference is where it began to take on another meaning. And in that reference of where it is outside of how we should have a condition. Let me see if I can make this right. Let me see if it's possible. The other one I want to go to, we already have it. But here is where I said the Alpha, right? When you go here and it says display information. And when you display the information, we have a thing here where it's saying this is the mark, and inside the mark it says that it's rare, was in the presence and the sense of being, that this is the essence and not connection, where it deals with different other factors. So when we're dealing with this, describing what the conditions is, was the year Kadesh. So when we have this here, we know that this is the connection that deals with Ayah and the essence of where we are in that totality. So that means in the presence. Now when you have this all going on in that one sector, it also connects to where we are, but at the same time, when I highlight these things, they give me a greater reference. So anytime that I highlight something, all I have to do is to find out what these things are, even if I wanted to take them to a reference and say, hey, what other language can this be into? And then to go to the Alapayah, and then I can break this down, and it'll tell me that this is something that is suggested as something that's in the text, but not in actuality. But now let's go back to where we are in this one, and then when we get into this one, this is where the text begins to act all kind of weird. And let's keep on going down. And I don't know, I'm going through all the text because of time. But let's see here. Now, I've copied these things out of a regular Bible, some of my sectors, and I wanted to put these in here because I wanted to show what was going on. But at the same time, I wanted to show how these things are. And let's see, hold on, give me a second. Description of the 705. And the Department of Energy is saying that the 7 Native American tribes has the excessive potential for energy to give them close to $1 million. That's where I copied that one. But what I'm looking for is where I had already did a study on the verse, and in the verses where it was all the biblical text that was in there. And in the biblical text, it showed 7 other tribes that might be here. I can't find it. I won't leave it alone. It's eluding me. It's eluding me. Birthdays. All right. What it is this. It had different biblical verses on it, okay? Now, here is where one here is saying, when Joshua had spoken, this is from the Hebrew Bible, had spoken to the people, I didn't highlight now, this is where they have the highlight for the 5. The 7 Kohans carrying the 7 shofars before, and they say Adonai, passed on and blew on the shofars with the Ark of the Covenant of Adonai, following him after he had destroyed 7 nations in the land of Canaan, and gave it to their land, to his people as an inheritance. And then it says, until she was brought back in. So I guess they're speaking about Adonai again, but we know what that is. And Joshua 6 and 8, when Joshua had spoken to the people, the 7 are not carrying that, and then the same thing. 18, there still remain among the people of Israel 7 tribes that had not received their inheritance. He did not spare the ancient world. On the contrary, he preserved, and that's really Noah, which is Noah in the standard. And Noah, a herald of righteousness, with the 7 others. So these were the people, the 7 principal people, and the flood unworthy of ungodly people. And then when we deal with this one, we come with the sector of being in this one area where it was here, where it says Adonai again will dry up the gulf of the Egyptian sea. He will shake his hand over the Euphrates River, see, to bring its scorching wind, dividing into 7 streams and enabling her people, see, it said her people to cross dry shod, see. But see, the dry shod is just 7 land masses. And the 7 land masses is what we now call 7 continents. And that right there shows that the 7 principal people of Ayah. Moreover, the light of the moon will be as bright as the light of the sun, and the light of the sun will be 7 times stronger, and like the light of the 7 days